you, Paige. So, your friend Hannah gave birth a few months ago. She's nursing. She stopped smoking when she was pregnant, and now she started again. The baby's here, and she's wanting to stop. She's pretty frustrated about it. She's afraid to try the Chantix or some of the other drugs because she's still nursing. She's found willpower is ineffective. And you mentioned that hypnotherapy can be helpful. It's more than 10 times as effective as willpower for stopping smoking, more than 3 times as effective as Chantix and the other drugs. And she says, oh no, what if I get stuck in hypnosis? So what do you say? Well, the answer is really simple. Nobody can get stuck in hypnosis. As a matter of fact, hypnosis, the brainwave state of hypnosis is halfway between being awake and being asleep. Everybody's been there thousands and thousands of times in their lifetime already. And if someone's in a hypnotic state, one of 3 things is going to happen. Either they're going to go into natural physiological sleep and they'll wake up. When they wake up, they will spontaneously come out of hypnosis, or they will come out of hypnosis when I ask them to. I mean, basically, no mind states remains forever and ever. We all know that there are no large numbers of institutions for the hypnotically stuck dotting the countryside. How tragic, Uncle Joe got hypnotized and he's been feeling so good ever since, and by golly, he stopped smoking. Dropped a few extra pounds and he's feeling so really, and he's not afraid of thunderstorms anymore. So, what you can do is just point out, well, if you're in a hypnosis, then you're going to come out. Either you're going to go to sleep and wake up naturally, or you're just going to come out spontaneously. I've had clients who didn't want to come back from hypnosis because it felt so good, and what I do at that point is say, well, you can stay in hypnosis as long as you want. The chair rents out for $200 an hour. And so they go, okay. Now, that's one of a fairly common misconception about hypnosis. Another one is the person is afraid that they're going to spill their deep, dark secrets. So back in the 60s, the CIA experimented with hypnosis as an interrogation technique. What happened is that the people they were interrogated got a little bit more relaxed. Hypnosis does not compel somebody to tell the truth. People who are in a hypnotic state can lie. And basically, if they're hypnotized, they're just going to be having a good time. You ask them a question, they don't have to answer. And so, what about this whole mind control thing? Okay, we see the stage show. Somebody's up there barking like a dog. Looks like they're just controlling their minds. Well, I've been in a stage show. The person, as a participant, the hypnotist said to all of us, I'm going to count 3, snap my fingers, and you will laugh the best laughter of your life. I thought, okay, I'll do that. Sounds good. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And a little bit later, he said to me that he was going to count to 3, and it would be as if I had itching powder down the back of my neck. Well, I'm feeling pretty nice and mellow and relaxed, and I thought, I don't think so. So he counted to 3, snapped his fingers, and nothing. I knew when he told me I was going to have the itching, it's not going to happen. Someone in hypnosis has perfect control. They have the choice to whether to accept and go with the suggestion or not. Now, I had a client recently who was a smoker, and his whole deal was being in control. He knew he was in control of his smoking because he scheduled each and every one of them. He'd start to smoke by a certain point in his drive to work, so he'd be finished by the time he got there. He didn't smoke at work. He would, where he was working, so he'd schedule when he was going to smoke during the day. He was in control. He also started his own business, so nobody could tell him what to do. His clients could negotiate with him, but they couldn't boss him around. Certainly wouldn't let his employees tell him what to do, and at home, the wife and children were not giving him orders. And what I did with him, after I went through the normal things I say to everybody who comes in to stop smoking, was I said, you do realize that every example that you gave me of being in control of your smoking is an example of how smoking is controlling you. So he looked at a spot on the floor, his eyes defocused, completely still for 20 minutes. He spontaneously went into a hypnotic state. He looks up at me, we talk for another couple of minutes, and something I said, he looks back at the same spot on the floor, eyes defocused for another 25 minutes. And what I think was going on was he was unconsciously trying to find an exception to having been controlled by smoking. And he couldn't find one. And at the end of that time, I said, "Are you going to smoke again?" He says, "Absolutely not." Completely congruent. And it's because he was in control that he stopped smoking. He was not going to let the cigarettes and the smoking control him. So let me give you an example of something I do with clients who tend to be oppositional in a particular way, or they're concerned in a particular way. Somebody says, "I really want to stop smoking, but I don't think I can." Now what I do is a simple reversal of that, and I say, "So you don't think you can stop smoking, but you really want to." And that puts their focus on really wanting to stop. Then I'll say, "If you didn't believe you could do it at some level, you never would have shown up in my office," which is then helping them accept that, yeah, they do believe they can do it, which is then another step forward in helping them make that complete change. So a great way to get a referral from me is to talk about hypnosis a little bit with your friends. You mention a few of my stories, they're going to think about, well, will that work for me? Is it something I could use? Or what about Joan? She needs to stop smoking. Maybe I could talk to her about that. Wesley Anderson, Doctor of Clinical Hypnotherapy. When somebody's interested in my services, you can send them to my website. There are videos up there, there are articles, there's information that they can get that will give them the opportunity to get a sense of me and what hypnosis is all about in a very safe and comfortable way. Wesley Anderson, Doctor of Clinical Hypnotherapy.